Today is Wednesday, October 1st, and today is a meeting of the Senior Center Site Selection and Building Committee. This meeting will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, as they are at this moment, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 375-414-6055 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100 prior to the meeting. All right, so I call us to order at 4:09 p.m. Do I have any amendments to the agenda? No? All right, then if I can get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. All right. Everyone is here, so I can just say all in favor?
Aye.
All right, chair says aye. Wonderful.
So nobody's on the screen.
So Dan Arts is on Zoom. And unfortunately, like I said, I had this hooked up at the library this morning and now
John
it just does not.
John should be
want to,
joining on.
Now it doesn't want to work. So
Is Dan Van Schafer?
he's not able to make it today. So I have an update from him. Okay. There we go. Okay. And if anybody wants to try unplugging the owl there and plugging it back in, we might have some.
Or the other cable.
Both of them. Go for both. Okay. All right. So we have, let's see, 5 sets of minutes. Thank you so much to Bonnie and Dennis for getting us caught up on those. Did anybody have any edits? I had one minor set that I sent to Dennis that just said that there were invoices submitted from the committee and the architect, and it should have said the OPM and the architect. So it was just a small typo. Did anyone else have edits? We could start with the earliest one, which was June 16th. Dennis sent that one out. Were there any edits to that one?
I read it quickly, but I'm okay. Make a motion to approve the senior center minutes from senior center building committee minutes from June 16th.
Second.
All in favor? Chair says aye. Wonderful. So then we can go to July 17th. Those were sent by Bonnie.
July 17th?
I thought they were July. I thought you did July 17th and September 17th.
That's what I think you did July.
Oh,
I did September.
okay. Maybe I just wrote down.
July.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I just wrote down the wrong name.
yeah, that's okay. Wow, even asleep.
Better you than me.
Any edits to that one or a motion to approve that one?
Motion to approve the July 17th minutes.
Yes.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right, then July 24th was Dennis. Any edits to those?
Make a motion to approve the July 24th minutes for the senior center site selection building committee. That's prepared by Mr. Curran.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right. So then I had 9:15 and 9:17.
One of them was the public forum.
Oh, okay.
It's a pro forma.
Or the 15th, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the 15th was the forum.
Okay, so then can I just get a motion to approve those then?
Well, I gave some sort of substitute or explanation for the minutes, which would be posted as such. Yes, yeah,
That's fine.
okay.
Yeah, that one was not posted as a meeting. So I don't think we technically even need those, but why don't we approve them, and then if the clerk needs to post them, she can. And going forward, we have worked out that they won't be posted as building committee meetings. They're correctly going to be posted as public input sessions. So I'm trying to get the music out.
You did the correct. That was the correct approach at the time. You didn't have the information.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'll make a motion that the minutes 9:15's public outreach session by the senior center site selection and building committee be approved is written.
Second.
Second.
Third, fourth.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right, then last but not least, September 17th.
And there was a version 2 on that one because I messed up and sent the wrong one.
Gotcha. I'll admit, I did not have a chance to look at your version 2 of that one.
All right.
Did everybody have a chance, else have a chance to look through it?
I did look at it, seemed okay to me.
Okay, all right. Can I get a motion to approve it then?
Someone has to do it. Sure.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys. So you, Dennis, you have a copy of all of those, right? So you
I do.
don't need anything else them submitted?
Unless Bonnie put can I edit? Your the version that you sent out?
Yeah, do you want,
No, I can print it off of this, but sometimes they won't let you edit,
you want?
but
the-
I don't need to edit them anyway.
Yeah, you can't edit the PDF, but you can edit I'll send you the Word.
I think I'm looking at, isn't this the word?
If you can edit, yeah, it should be.
We need a stenographer.
Yeah, it's a PDF.
Oh, you wanna send me the word?
Let me just.
No,
see.
I don't need to edit it, actually. In the draft,
No.
there is no draft watermark.
This is the version 1.
Oh.
Look at the most recent
Uh-huh,
email with version 2, sorry.
that's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the one we approved.
Does that bring us up to date on the
I think I had signed up for 2 of them, so we might be behind 2, because I didn't get them done,
Oh, okay.
but I will.
No, we might have gotten them, Katie.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
It's okay to stay behind the 8 ball.
We've been busy with some other things. All right, wonderful, thank you. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda are site updates, and Dan was not able to, excuse me, to make it today, but he did send me an email with just a quick summary of where we are. So in terms of utilities with the gate, Mass Development is providing a commitment letter for moving the gate. They're aiming to have it to Dan by the end of the week, but we'll definitely have it prior to town meeting that, you know, this is something that they're
And that's,
collaborating.
and that's the 400 feet west of the.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. And the DPW and Mass Development are working on a CAD plan for moving the gate, and that is still in coordination. And I think that was related to where to put it, and then if there was any sort of widening, like little gravel widening to turn around there that was needed. In terms of septic and stormwater, the perk tests are to be completed by GPR with DPW assistance, scheduling and aiming for pre-October 24th. So hopefully that will be done. I don't know that we have results, but that would at least be done before town meeting. For electric, it's still with National Grid in the design phase. October 8th is their due date, but there's nothing new to report there. So we should have hopefully a substantive update before town meeting on that as well, which is good. Comcast, MBTA is making Comcast submit for a license to install their conduit under the railroad tracks. And that's in process, and they're not allowing Comcast to piggyback on the town of Ayer's license, which is already submitted for the water line. And
You said MBTA, is that what it is?
yeah, the railroad.
You said MBTA rather than the owner of the railroad?
This is just what it says. MBTA is making Comcast submit for a license to install their conduit under the railroad tracks.
I wonder how much each license costs.
The MBTA owns that stretch of track?
Well, it's a commuter rail, partly, and that's run by us.
Not over there, that's spur.
That was a spur off
It's-
the.
Oh.
It's, you got it, it's Genovese and something, whatever. It's okay.
I think ours was $2,500 for the water project.
That's why they won't let them piggyback. They want $2,500.
Comcast is coordinating their plans into the water main project, so they have to do the permitting on their own with the MBTA, but they are working with the DPW and the water
So
plans.
it
Put them both
will
in
be
at the
same
same time.
time.
Yeah, that, I mean, to the best of my ability to answer that, yes, it will be coordinated. How about that? And then in terms of water, the license has been approved by the MBTA and it's just, he says, in a holding pattern. So I guess waiting till, and that we hope to hear about soon about the housing choice grant.
So that's important. So the license for the water is improved.
Is approved, yeah.
And do we recall that we sent a check for that out of our budget?
Yes, we've already paid for that.
Okay, so we paid for it out of our budget
Mm-hmm.
in the past.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then in terms of permitting, the Blazing Star, nothing new to report, no plants on the site or along the street corridor, because they were able to do that. I think Dan reported on that at the last meeting. The Blandings Turtle, civil is in design development by Catlin, need this further developed to coordinate with natural heritage. Perk test will inform design work of septic and stormwater, so it sounds like that's their way as well. And then Aquifer Protection District, not likely to require a full permit. Design will be in compliance with aquifer bylaw to be confirmed with Neil Angus.
You know, when we met with them, it's funny, we hadn't brought that up before, but when we met with them, were you there the last time we met with them?
I was not, no.
They basically indicated it would be just a letter, confirmation letter of sort with a set of plans that would satisfy their, we're on the very edge of one of their aquifers, as it turns out, our property, which is an
Who's
aquifer
aquifer?
under Devon's.
It's Devon.
Their Devon's aquifer spreads out beyond our site. It's a low level type of approval. Because we're not in a critical part of the aquifer, we're in a distant part, still within their requirement.
And
They did indicate that it would not,
and what entity needs to approve it?
it's the Devon's Enterprise Commission. Within their rules and regulations. It's hard to find it, we did find it, but.
All right. Great. So then any other updates for site?
For the site, today at the public meeting, there was a woman who came, an older woman who doesn't drive at night, and she said the biggest problem she had was she felt she would never be able to attend late afternoon events or evening events there because the street is so dark. There's no street lighting.
They're not gonna be,
There's not gonna be.
Devon's is not gonna put any lights down, there's no power on the street,
Well, once we put our electricity,
there's
We're
no
not
power
going
down the
that
street,
Direction.
it's a problem down the street.
because it's very, very dark with town.
You're suggesting that this lady can't drive anywhere where there are not streetlights? maybe she should not be driving. I don't know.
Just for this person, I wasn't aware that that was a problem of how dark it was down that street. And there are a lot of seniors who do not drive in the dark. I know
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of.
true. That's true.
It'll be an issue part of the year, but there is literally no way to get power. There's not gonna be any power on the street. So that's an issue.
Okay, I mean, you have to drive through Harvard where there are entire sections where there are no streetlights at all in order to get to the highway.
We have a lot of spots in the street.
Yeah.
They're just lit by things on people's homes.
But I think it's an interesting point to bring up is people will have questions like that and
Oh,
just
yeah.
being
Yeah.
able to have an
Yeah,
answer.
I didn't even realize that it was an issue.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'll just tell Dan.
You'll do what?
I'll tell Dan and he'll arrange.
I think it's a valid point that we could add a street light potentially in front of our property.
Yes, that would
from
be good.
the electricity that we designed for the site lighting. So we do have to have site lighting. So with Devin's permission, we could potentially put one out near the street.
Okay. could we
There are,
put that-
there, it just, just as a point, there are a lot of new streetlight systems that are powered by solar. They don't need to be wiring, and they're very high-end, street-level type lights. I have, I've used them in some parking lots. They're very long-lasting. You know, battery probably has to be changed every 10 years or something, but generally, you can, it's just a post with an LED light system, and they're very bright. And it has a solar panel on top of it. And they're just like regular streetlights. So we can certainly work something like that into the design process if it's
That would be
necessary.
great.
And I'll show you some examples.
That'd be super. That would be wonderful.
Oh, yeah. But that's gonna drive the cost of the project up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out.
Oh, those lights, come on. Those lights are about $300 a piece, you know. They're not very expensive. That's gonna be our problem. We got bigger problems than that.
Okay, that'd be good. Thank you.
There's nothing less than thousands probably.
All right. Okay, so I think that brings us to the public outreach.
Oh, wait a minute, I did have one thing more on the site. So bear in mind that we still have not finished the approval not required, a lot.
Yeah.
That we need, that we'll have to eventually go through, that process, but we're holding off on that till everything's done and we have the right shape. That we all agree on the right size of the lot, we'll break it off.
Well, doesn't it have to be 3 acres?
It's gotta
Isn't that-
be, we may end up with a shape that's more than 3 acres, it may be at an
Oh,
angle, there
all
could
right.
be a number of different things. We
So
have to-
that's still to be determined.
Yes, so
Oh,
we
okay.
still have, I think even in the budget, we have a piece of money there for
So
that.
when the surveyor laid out that and they had the stakes and we did the walkthrough,
They just did it based on John's plan, pretty much.
right?
Yeah.
But that's not definitive.
Not yet, no, we haven't locked it down.
Well, 2 of them are.
Excuse me?
So along the street and along
The fence line.
The fence line is set.
How
Those two
far
aren't
back we go,
those
how
two aren't
wide we
moving.
go, They all get altered as we go through the final site design with his civil engineer.
Oh, no, okay, so that's good.
Yes,
Alright.
his civil engineer will
Yeah.
work with to get the final
Okay.
shape, then we'll go back to Ross Associates to break off the lot we need to break off, the whole,
I see.
the full
Okay, so
size
that's,
of the lot.
because I know there was some, the pickleball court was in the way or there wouldn't be room for one or whatever,
Yeah.
but, and I know we're not gonna have them
Yeah.
built, but to have the room available for them might be.
Yes, that's still there and
Have the room available down in the future.
Absolutely, yeah.
it may change even for instance, when the power company does their design. Coming down the back, if they may wanna shift the transformer someplace, we may have to look at that, how it fits on the lot. So it's wide open still, but that's not a problem.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Ellen, do you want to give a public outreach update?
Okay, our postcards went out to all the homes and businesses in Ayer. And, also we have a bunch of flyers that went up in almost all the businesses around town. Some very diligent friends went out there and did that. We had our second to last public information session today at the library. We had about 11 people, and one was a couple that just moved into town within the last month, and
Wow.
they heard about it because of the postcard, and they came, and they're from Chelmsford, which has a very vibrant senior center, and they talked about how hard it was to get it passed, but now it's the biggest thing in town, that everybody loves it, and you know, I said, would you please come to this meeting and tell people that? And
And what
They
did
should
they,
register first.
and what did they say?
they were leaving to go register to vote right after the meeting.
And when you suggested they come to town meeting, what did they say?
She said, yeah,
What's a town meeting?
we'll see, but
Oh, Chelmsford.
they, so I think that that's been successful. People were pretty positive. Today we didn't get many negatives. I was worried because from where I live, we had a person who's been not very positive, and he came to the meeting, and I almost went up to him and said, you better be polite, you know, but I didn't. And he asked a couple of questions, but nothing negative. So that's an improvement. So, there's one more public session on the 16th at the high school, and that's at 7 PM. I want to try to get to the fire department and find out how we can put that on the side of their building. You know, they have that electronic thing, so I'm gonna try to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the fire department. I think that's the town manager.
Yeah, it's
That's-
a town man.
Town
It is the
manager.
town
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's the town manager.
It's the IT director that usually does that, so
They don't have.
those are, the IT director duties are being split between Carly and Chuck right now, so.
So, let's see, I'm working on a press release and a fact sheet that I'm gonna send out all over the place to, the press about the, you know, that it's gonna be up at town meeting and things.
Do we wanna? I know that there was an interview given to one of the local newspapers that didn't go so well some months back. So the newspaper gets the press release, we contact them and say, would you like to speak with the senior center director about this upcoming project before you write your article?
Well,
Or-
I can send it out and say that the person, she's available, you know, but, I'm gonna have quotes in there already
Yeah.
from her and the town manager and different people, because we've
Yeah.
had some problems. And what we wanna do is get out our message of what we want them to know about the site, not just let them interview. 50% of what reporters who do interviews can be wrong. And so I think they can use this as a background and then write something, but at least we know they have the true and correct data that we want. So hopefully,
I like the idea of the press release, because I think we want to control the narrative. Just a question. So there's a whole section in the local newspaper that just has events for the month.
when you say local newspaper, we don't really have a town newspaper.
There's a local newspaper, that's the, you know, the
Public Spirit.
Public Spirit, or the Voice, or whatever we call it at this point in time. But they pretty much have a section in the back that people just put in events for the library, just dates and times and things like that. Church events that people submitted. So my question is, would it just make sense for us to just put that in every week from now to the town meeting? That the town meeting is just a statement. The scheduled town meeting is gonna have the senior center on it, so just.
Okay, I'll have to
When
look
I
at it. This is the Voice.
Yeah, I mean, I got the paper at home, so we can get it over to you. Look,
Can I butt in just for a second? Just to give a word of caution for Ellen. Submitting something to the paper, I can tell you a lot of papers will say, well, we ought to get the other side. So what'll happen is I've in a number of towns we worked in, we've been shocked at an article that we tried to get in, got turned around and became negative. I think it should be a press release that you're putting in there, and that
That's
and that it should really be our press release. And we need to have a clear understanding that you're welcome to print something different on another day or something. But what'll happen, and I've seen happen, they'll call up a couple of negative people, and then pretty soon it isn't just a positive thing for our team, it becomes a debate. And I like debates, but I think if we're trying to get positive press, I'd be careful with it. What is the paper? Who's the paper?
I think Alan's got it covered.
Well, we have a Neshoba Valley Voice.
But the
Yeah.
The Lowell Sun.
Then we have the Lowell Sun, and isn't there the Enterprise or something?
Lowell Sun owns the other one, owns the local.
Yeah.
Usually the articles in the Lowell Sun end up in.
I mean, then there's the Groton
Pittsburgh
Herald,
thing,
which
yeah.
is the town next to us,
That's mostly Groton.
but they mostly cover Groton,
Yeah, we'll
so.
work on that one.
But
Yeah, I
and
think a town, oh, it's where the big dam is. What's Clinton, I think. Clinton, they ended up publishing a cartoon in the paper of a bunch of seniors standing around talking about the gold fixtures and the incredible building they're building for millions of dollars. And it was a very negative cartoon. And we were shocked to see it come out. So all I'm saying is tread lightly with the papers because they can turn things around.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
you've got a good piece going out, and I think that's important. Our paper will publish what you give them, but some papers play.
No. Okay, thank you. The Friends, they have ordered the yard signs and a banner, and those are supposed to be out by this weekend. And they're taking names of people who will put up their yard signs. So Betsy, and are you helping with that, Dennis?
I haven't yet, but I'd love to get a couple.
Okay, well, if anybody here is willing to put up a yard sign, tell Dennis and he can communicate with Betsy. And she'll be taking names. They're also gonna be doing the Newton Street Festival this weekend, Saturday, I think it is, from 10 to 3. And they'll have a booth there. We also will have a booth just to the building committee, but the Friends will have their own booth. And they'll be signing up people for your yard signs, and they're also gonna have a raffle, the coffee, basket, and also some lottery tickets. And let's see. Then the following weekend at the Harvard Flea Market, they're going to be doing, they'll have a booth. And they'll actually have a flea market, and we're not sure about the raffle there, but we're working on it. There's an issue. And did Betsy get in touch with you? She needed the letter that you got from Harvard that had instructions on parking and timing and all of that.
Yeah, I need to find that for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. And building. I understand that at the at town meeting, the building committee can have a table inside the high school where we could pass out materials for people who are going to the town meeting. And the Friends can put outside, they can have a table. But, I don't know if that's gonna happen. And the other thing is other locations that we're reaching out to for handing out materials. And Linda just did the transfer station. So she's gonna talk about that, and I think you and Carolyn McCreary are setting up some other places for people. I thought it was Dennis.
Yeah, you had mentioned maybe doing a coffee at your
Oh, yeah,
house.
yeah.
And then, yes, Carolyn McCreary is doing one
Yeah.
for Sandy
Oh,
Farm
okay.
neighborhood.
So if
Yeah.
anybody else has any other suggestions for, I know that St. Mary's or St. Anthony's had offered to let us come in after mass on Sunday and hand things out. So if there's any other locations, you can tell Dennis. Do you-
Do you have any update on what's with the video?
Well, I saw the video today. I had a friend who originally was not in favor of this. She had been very supportive, but because of the size and the cost, she was concerned and said the town was very concerned. And she was there today, and I asked her, what did you think of the presentation. And she thought it was good. I said, it went long. It went like 45 minutes. And she said, well, it's a very complicated project, and she felt that you probably needed that much time to explain everything. And then I said, well, what did you think of the video? Because right now we have it in 3 parts. It's the basic, this is what the senior center looks like. And then there's 2 different parts of seniors talking about how they feel about the senior center, and then why we need a new one. And I said, well, what did you think about that? Did you think it was cumbersome, or should we just put in the part about? And she said, no, I thought it was good. And she's very bright. And she says, I sense a change in how the town is viewing this. She said, I don't see as much negativity towards it. And she was concerned about other taxes that were gonna be put on besides just the R1. And she did ask a question about that, and then she was satisfied with it. And what she said to me was, well, you know, your taxes are gonna end up going up by almost $500, and that's hard on some people. She said, but if we don't get it now, it's only gonna be more expensive. So if we want a senior center, we really need to do it now. So I thought that was phenomenal, because she all along has been unwilling to commit. So I think right now the video is good, but Katie and I discussed at the town meeting, I think we're only gonna use the part that describes the current senior center.
So where are we currently using that video? Are we using it anywhere?
In the public input sessions, and I can add them onto the website.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can we have it like up now where people, if they go onto one of the websites, they can view it?
When you
That's
say the
okay.
website, you're talking about the one you created, right?
Yes.
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 ayerseniorcenter.com. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because people are more apt to watch a video than to read through pages of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
material.
Right.
Well, yes, but the video, well, at the very end, it does talk about the new senior center. But mostly this is what it's like, you know, and it's inadequate,
Yeah, no.
so.
Um,
Well, now Linda was gonna talk, did you wanna talk about the transfer station?
Well, do you want an update on it?
Yeah.
So Ken and I went last Saturday. It was a beautiful, hot, sunny day. That's how I got my tan.
I mean, you refreshed your tan.
Yeah, I refreshed it. So we were there from like 10:30 to 12:45. We were actually, and Ken jump in at any point, we were actually very pleased at how it went. There was a good amount of traffic. Frank did share, from the transfer station that Sunday is actually a busier day. So if we go back, we might want to keep, if we don't go both days, we might want to keep that, in mind. So we handed out approximately 55 copies of the 4-page flyer. We really, so our approach was we kind of stood in different locations, then we were stood together. And we really let people do their thing and said, let them know what we were handing out instead of going up to everybody. And they were very receptive to it. I think about 40 to 50% of the people using the station while we were there were seniors. Would you say that's about?
I thought it was higher.
Yeah, so there were a good amount of seniors. People were very receptive to taking the information. I only had 3 or 4 people didn't take it, a couple weren't interested in taking it, some have already seen it. So many people commented on the information they've received in the mail, which was good. We had a couple people said they were against it. I only had one fairly strong no. But other than that, everyone's really positive and receptive.
And what was the rationale for the no?
They were talking, I'll go with it in a minute.
It was a very aggressive, explicit no.
I can repeat.
But that was our only negative, really. But it was so.
I might live next to him.
So a couple of things that was, for me, that was interesting. Well, the number one question that came up is, where is this going to be located?
Mhm.
A lot of people did not know where the location, and we had to describe and tell, well, where is that? So where it's located was the number one question. The number 2 question was, what are the dates of the town meetings? And I couldn't originally find them in the material.
yeah.
I wrote it right.
So that's something we might want to put in front.
You changed it, right?
So I put, on the copies that I had remaining, I put a return address label that was printed with them, and then everything that's printing from here on out will have just a little circle up there at the top left.
What,
So what I-
when are the signs coming in? Or
Which signs?
the yard signs?
They're coming in by this weekend.
Can I get like?
Betsy, you have to talk to Betsy.
Got it.
So the yard signs are being coordinated by the Friends of the Senior Center?
Friends of the Senior
Talking
Center.
about, okay, so just for clarification, it's not part of this meeting.
Yeah, we
On
don't,
the side.
So you can, Ken, I will be in touch with your wife, to pick up the yard.
No big deal, I already told her you wanted some.
Okay.
But I wanted to make a comment about I struggle to find that here.
Right, yeah.
And we had you had a bigger version of that printed up, which we put on an easel, is that the correct term?
Yeah, it was a different, yeah, it's being updated. It's the version of our postcard, not the,
this,
This, I think,
yeah, it's.
isn't that what you printed, a bigger version of
this is the flyer.
the flyer? You
Yeah,
had that
so
up.
the poster we're gonna have is the one with, that's the senior center one.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
This one.
it was tweaked. We did have one with the QR code and the dates, yes.
Okay, so that was the one you printed that was bigger? We put, what I'm getting at is.
Yeah, we had a
Linda
version of
kindly
the sign.
set up an easel and put on it this graphic.
Yeah,
That served as a way for people to know where we were, which got them to that spot. Then we basically stood right between the recycling section, that found out to be the best. Because everybody stopped there and went one way or another to the recycling. Okay,
did you have a table or just an
she
easel?
just had that.
We just had a post and then we just had a bucket with the
Yeah.
handout.
And
And a lot of people were interested. They were like, oh, what are you handing out?
So the people asked us, what are you selling, all kinds
So
of
you didn't
questions.
have the posters that
We have-
Shady gives, the, you know,
No, we didn't bring
No,
those.
none of that.
would it be helpful to have them there or not?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I don't think
I
so.
don't think we need
What
it.
Katie, excuse me. My friend basically did, was, we went out to people, basically said, would you be interested in getting some information on the new senior center proposal? That's what we started out with. So most people said one way or another, yes or whatever. So it's a simple question and we have the information here, we'd like you to look at it. Then when it came up to the question of the town meeting, because I couldn't find it down here in the end, I simply took like 50 of them and wrote right across in the black magic marker, vote at the town meeting, October 27th. Because I was trying to get across, we need that vote at town meeting on October 27th.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna recommend, maybe you listen, but somehow put that right there where we wanna see, vote at the town meeting. So,
So,
of the 3 or 4 negatives, it was apparent, one gentleman, some of them, one gentleman I knew. And the other ones, I don't think I knew. I was trying to catch a hold of someone that made a, unfortunately, bad remark, a remark that maybe should have been made in public. But the other gentleman made an interesting comment, which we have an answer to, but would never have given a chance to discuss it. The last thing you need to do is build a senior center and raise taxes for seniors. That was his answer as he walked by. Now, if we had a chance to engage, we could have gone into the discussion of how we see the benefit of senior centers, and that in fact, you do have a chance to recoup that taxes just by using the building and the services and the gym availability and things like that, easily worth more than $143 a year.
And there's
But
also,
that was it, he
Yeah.
wasn't gonna engage in a
but
conversation.
the other possible response to that is the senior tax write-off program.
Good, all kinds of opportunities.
There are a number of avenues.
There's actually a better response too. Senior centers
I'm saying if we didn't have a chance to respond, yeah.
keep seniors in town. The more they stay in their homes, the less expensive it is for the town, because keeping that institutional knowledge and the fact that if they leave town or sell their house or get ill because they're not being active, that house often goes into the hands of a new, now we have to walk on this carefully, goes into the hands of a new young family, bringing in children, which puts pressure on the schools. So the more we're able to help take care of our seniors and keep them in our town, the better deal it is. And I can walk through the tax aspect of it, which I'll be happy to write it out for you all, because the one thing is that seniors in town have probably raised 3 or 4 kids. and it costs about $18,000 to $20,000 a kid to put them through school. And you go over about 12 years of that and you add it up. It's not, it's amazing. Now, I know Ken's shaking his head because I can see it. It's amazing how.
We know it already.
What's that?
We know it already.
Well, then that's what you have to tell them, Ken.
We couldn't,
engage
I was trying to make a point. When you can't talk to the person, you can't engage and have the discussion that we're familiar with.
Right.
So that was the only
No,
disappointment.
but.
When we could engage, we had great conversations with people.
Yes, but I hadn't engaged in that I think it is instructive for me to learn about the
Yeah.
details of what if the person were open to hearing it,
Yeah, exactly.
But
then.
some are, and they need to hear it.
And we're good.
And it really makes a difference.
Because we may hear it on the floor, Tom.
Yeah.
So I think, that's why we have this really widespread public outreach plan. Some interactions will be very interactive, like attending a public input session and having information in the Q&A. And some things are really casual touch points, like handing out a brochure. So I think it's a really good idea to do this at the transfer station. I agree with you. You may not be able to engage with people, but they'll at least have information to go home and ponder.
So we did have quite a few
We had a
people
lot of good
that
conversations.
came and when they started they talked with us for about
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes. So it wasn't like just saying, oh, here, thank you, take this.
Oh, no,
They stayed, and some of them, so the town meeting question, the dates came up a lot. The other question, which I didn't have an answer, people said, can we vote by mail? And I didn't, so that
So-
came up quite a bit also.
So you have to participate in person in town meeting.
Mhm.
You can do an absentee ballot for the election.
I know.
Yep.
So that was a question that I wasn't able to answer. There was many people that just recently became aware of the project. Many had been following it. I don't know why, I was very surprised that the age bracket between 40 and 50 were very much like the project and were in favor of it.
Great.
It was another interesting fact that a lot of the 55 to 60-year-olds were like, yeah, that's gonna be me in a few years. And they were all, it's now registering, hey, this is gonna be good for me in a few years. So overall, it was very, I felt it went very well, but a couple things I think we need to make sure we all know the facts. So two of us worked. And at first I thought I would do it by myself, then Ken came, and I think it really does need to be two
Needs to
people.
be two.
And somebody, because there wasn't like a lot of technical questions that I had Ken answer, that I didn't answer. I was comfortable answering them, but I didn't want to give out any wrong information. But some other things, I did not get any inquiry as to the cost to the taxpayer. I had not one person asked that. I only heard one comment on the size of the building, and that was somebody who's, I believe, on another committee in town.
I know.
And I asked, the interesting question is, well, why do you think it's too big? What are you basing that on? Are you basing it on cost or size? And they really could not respond. And then when we went into, we did our homework, this is why it was this size, he became very engaged and receptive to our conversation. So that was, only one person I heard, doesn't have to be that fancy. The other question, and I know why the gentleman asked this, and he actually, I believe, worked for another municipality. He's a resident here. He asked what the maximum capacity of the building
What a
was.
great question.
And I know why I believe I know why he asked it, and I didn't know
Worked on a
that.
building in another town. Worked on a municipal project in another town.
And
But I
the answer, John, is,
What?
what's the maximum capacity for the building?
It's actually on the cover page. Hey, Dan, what's our gross occupancy?
Requirement of code.
Wait, hold a second. Go ahead.
looking right now. Can you look in it's over on
I'm
my
gonna go
desk.
look right now. I haven't written down. Just a minute. I'll be right back.
What I did is I just tried to I took him through the multi-purpose room. I said that was like
600 and
I
something.
just kind of fumbled around, but we didn't really know.
I think the reason he was asking, and I think because he was looking at it, okay, if it could hold, and if they tell me how many people. He was saying, I think he was thinking, relating this to the size. Well, if the maximum capacity is, whatever the figure is, 500, 8,000, 1,000, whatever it is, he was saying, well, do you really think you're gonna have that many people in the building at one time? I think that's the point he was getting at, maybe too big. However, the flip side of the reason it is that size, so you can have multiple events and classes going on at the same time,
Yeah. But you don't expect maximum capacity.
You would never.
but he did, he
Yeah.
kept asking
No,
for
it-
the math, you know.
Yeah.
Unless there's an emergency.
It's a
some
good
kind of
question,
very
but-
bizarre.
Maximum capacity as a legal fire code is
Yeah.
fundamentally different from functional use and how many people
Yeah.
can use it at one time.
Right.
I mean, it may only be functionally usable by, I don't know, 250.
I
You know,
think his
150
question was
eating.
more related to the size of the building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's,
So the answer is 339, of which about just shy of 200 fit in a multi-purpose room.
Yeah.
339 gross occupancy.
No, that's good, John. Thanks.
Well, what does that mean? You can't have more than that at any time in the building?
Yes,
correct.
Yeah.
based on the fire code,
Yeah.
egress, distances, all kinds of things.
Huh.
But nobody's ever gonna be there to count.
I thought it was, I'll say a couple things about the transfer station that I'm gonna add. To me, it was the best available situation. Way better than I thought public input sessions.
Great.
Because we had people coming at us the entire time, which we didn't have to invite. They just kept coming up. So if we spoke to 50 people, most of them, we just didn't hand it out. They talked to us about it. Okay, so we started it with an approach that said, would you please be interested in information about the senior center that's going to a town meeting at the end of October?
Mhm.
And then if they knew about it, they were very casual about what we talked about. And then a few of them got into, more of a discussion that we can turn them into a vote. So I thought it was way more comfortable than just having people sit there at the public input session. And I thought that if we could get to that transfer station every weekend, we might have a chance to talk to 200 or 300 people
Oh, easily.
that are gonna come into that transfer station. Because we only did it for 2 hours. And that's a lot, believe me, standing on your feet on the pavement.
Do you
It's a
have
lot
any
to
more
do.
people? I signed up for next Sunday.
Right, but I wanna be cautious, I haven't quite finished.
I'm
I
sorry.
am not recommending that the Friends at the Senior Center
Oh,
have
yeah.
anything to do with this being at the transfer station. Because the people will expect to get an answer that they may not be capable of answering. It's gonna be the building committee that have the answers.
Okay.
It won't be the Friends of the Senior Center people who will have to be able to answer these questions. Just haven't been all these meetings.
They were planning,
I don't care what they're
okay,
planning.
wait, I'm
telling you
just
what
saying.
Okay,
The point was to be there the weekend, which would be the 2 days before the town meeting, because they have the vote yes.
okay, but I'm gonna tell you, they will not be capable of answering the questions that we were approached with. It's just not.
Can we have two,
One of each.
and then if they had questions.
Design a cheat sheet. Just do a cheat sheet.
Well, we
Because the
don't
people
want,
won't know the
yeah.
difference. They're just gonna expect that whoever they're engaged with at that point
Mhm.
is gonna have all the information.
Are we gonna tell the Friends that we don't want them to be there?
Well, I'm wondering, would it make sense that they pass out their yes cards on those dates and we have somebody from our committee be a representative, people have technical or questions, go, they will answer your questions, we're here, we're asking for your support.
I think I don't see why we couldn't pair up with them.
I think we have to separate, because we can't be endorsing a positive vote. I mean, I think we have to separate in such a place away. And then have the Friends in an area where they would be saying,
Well, why can't the Friends come and team up with us so that they will have the answers? So
We
that if they're
understand.
out and about and somebody asks them, they can say, well, here's the correct answer, not, I don't understand, I don't know. So just like anything else,
Yeah.
they can be trained, they can come up in almost like a training session. The longer they spend with us, the more often they're gonna understand what the answers are to the questions.
yeah, and they're running the booth at Newton Street, which is gonna have people,
But are they answering questions when people ask
They
them
should
questions
be
about the
put in
center?
a position where they have to answer these kinds of questions.
Yeah, so I agree there. I think we need to team up. I will follow up with Robert about what guidelines he would have to make sure that we don't get ourselves in trouble. We're not gonna hand out vote yes cards. We can answer questions. We can hand out, I mean, it can be, I don't see why we couldn't hand out our stuff like you guys did, and they hand out their stuff. And you're separated by 5 feet in the sign. Like, I don't think those are necessarily contradictory, but I will follow up on what to get some guidance for that so that we don't get ourselves in trouble.
Okay, let me mention something.
Well, hang on just a second, but the booth for Newton Street Festival is, the Friends booth is right next to the building committee's booth.
Very,
So,
very confusing.
well, so, but the building committee is gonna have all the information. The Friends are really, don't have any information in their booth. So I think it will be fairly obvious where people who have questions about the project need to ask the people standing in front of the posters of the project.
Yeah, and I think that for the average person even including myself, who should supposedly be well informed on this, the defined legal distinctions we're trying to make and that Robert is insisting on, and that the average person on the street is not making those distinctions.
No, they're not.
They are simply going to walk up and speak to someone about something, and that person that they're speaking to will provide an answer which may or may not be acceptable or whatever. So I think it's just important for either, if you're representing yourself as a friend, or if you're representing yourself as a member of the building committee, or if you're just representing yourself, that it be a convivial conversation, that it be kind of supportive of what's trying to be accomplished, that you're open to hearing their, questions, and that you'll do your very best to try to give the best answer you're capable of. I don't think that anybody who comes up to you, I don't think it would be an appropriate approach to say to someone, well, I can't really tell you to vote yes on it. You should walk over there and that person can tell you to vote yes. All I can tell you, it's going to be 150 person capacity in the large room.
Well, so today at the public input session, I needed to straddle those two ideas because, and I just said, as a town employee, I'm here to give you information.
Right.
Here's the video, here's the slides, here's the video about these things. I said, I can't tell you how you should vote. I do want to share a video with you of some of the seniors where they're telling you what they think we need to do.
Yeah.
And then I always close the presentation or any conversation that I have about it with, I just hope that you will get involved in the process so that everybody can feel good about the outcome of the vote. So I hope we will participate in town meeting and the election. And that way you're just asking them to participate, and that's not advocating, that's asking for their
Yes,
participation.
but from their standpoint, for a neutral observer, and I did not in fact pick up on that distinction. I don't think anybody in the audience is thinking, so she came here, she gave us this presentation, she provided us all this information, but she doesn't think it's a good idea.
Right, no,
I mean, nobody on the planet is thinking that. So all I would say is that while I understand needing to kind of stay on the right side of the legal lines in a technical sense, I don't think we should get to twist ourselves into knots trying to avoid the obvious.
I think it's pretty clear that when we were standing out there and we're passing this out, that we were supporters of the senior center.
Right.
Well, basically when I hand wrote on the top of that, it said, vote at the October 27th town meeting.
Yeah.
I didn't say vote yes, I just said, vote at the October 27th town meeting, which is basically what we're asking them to do. Could you take this information and become educated about the project that's on the October 27th town meeting? Then it comes into a situation. Here's my concern. I have a lot of, you can tell by my angst that I have a lot of concerns about the Friends morphing into this process. The last thing, I will say, the very last thing that we want to have happen is someone ask a question and not get the right answer and say, oh, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because they don't know who is on the committee and who is a friend, and that person over there was never put in a position to be where we are. So I'm concerned about misinformation and someone say, oh, they really don't know what they're talking about. couldn't answer that question.
That's
Well, I
why it
think-
has to be a dual.
That's why that's one of my concerns. If they think for a minute that this committee is not solid and they don't know who's on the committee or who isn't on the committee, they're just gonna assume everybody's involved.
So Ken,
I
one,
see him as a fundraising wing, but not a fact-based wing. That's what I'm.
So-
so one clear message to the Friends, right? Whoever is on the Friends committee needs to be communicated to that if these questions arise, that they do not answer and that they
Still don't get what I'm saying. The people don't care.
know that,
They're gonna figure the Friends have the answer.
but then the Friends
Then they're gonna
should,
say, I don't know.
no, they don't say, I don't know.
Go with
No, they
it.
say, I would like you to go speak with a member of the building committee. It could be Dennis, it could be you, it could be whomever is available, go speak to the appropriate person.
Well, we probably should have a member of the building committee there then, if that's the case. But as I said, I'm signed up for Sunday. Is anybody else?
As a member of the Friends or as a member of the village?
No, as a member of the building committee. Is anybody else signed up for?
Did you sign up for
I'm
that?
not here this weekend.
I was gonna come help set up, I can help,
Wait, hang on, we're conflating two things right now, so that, these are the two tasks that we need to do. We need to staff the Newton Street Festival and we need to staff the transfer station, so.
I'm
so-
talking about transfer
So
station.
let's start with the transfer station first.
Do you mind if I sign off? I need to, my dog's in the car. And,
Yes.
and Dan's
Oh,
gonna hang
animal
around.
abuse.
That's it.
Yeah, I know it. They already broke the windows, I'm sure. Go ahead, Ellen. I'm sorry.
John, I would really like to have I don't know whether, how far are you from here?
45,
Your office?
48.
I'm not very far.
I
very
would like to come and videotape you answering those questions that I asked about.
I'll make sure I get my makeup and get my beard colored. I don't want to look
Okay.
too old. Yeah, we'll
All right.
talk. Yeah,
I'll
I'll chat with you.
talk to
All right.
you about that. Okay,
Bye.
thanks.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, so, okay, so this Saturday, the 4th, we will be at Newton Street Festival, so.
Okay, so I can help set up and staff for a couple hours in the morning.
Okay, you're talking about Newton Street now?
Well, Saturday the 4th.
Yeah.
And then Sunday the 5th, I'll do some hours at the transfer station.
Okay, so for Saturday the 4th, then, setup is at 8:45. I've got all the materials out here, I'm out of town, so who wants to be in charge? It takes two people really to set up the tent and, in the past, we've stretched that gauzy thing across the back. I don't know that we necessarily need to do that. We can just use the easels, but we're gonna have to find something to kind of weigh them down with in case it's windy.
Now, this is the building committee, booth,
Yes,
and then, Betsy has a booth and also she's giving half of that to the Franks, right? But they're next to each other.
Well, no,
That's
So-
my understanding.
I know I'm gonna be there setting up both booths. So that's
Okay.
in both tents.
Only two?
They're so simple.
Yeah, I know.
so the senior center has, B23.
Bingo.
This is the
And-
Newton Street?
Yeah, this is Newton Street, so this is the bank parking lot, and this is Newton Street here. So we have right on the edge, and then there's on the town hall side is over here, but
So where's Betsy? Do you know?
right next to us.
Okay,
So, I mean, so there was originally supposed to be,
Huh.
Betsy had a booth that she was selling her own things
Yeah.
in. And we were gonna have our booth. So I really don't think that they necessarily, like, the Friends aren't doing a flea market table there, like, I'm not actually even really sure what the Friends need to do
you mean at the,
at the Newton Street Festival.
Well,
So,
They're fundraising.
they're fundraising, they're signing up people to be friends,
okay,
they're asking people who want a yard sign
okay.
and
So-
things like that.
All right, so then I think we just have to keep our piece separate and be able to just,
Okay.
lead the conversation.
The community,
So who else can help Ken set up? Cause
I gotta be there anyway, so I gotta help St. Mary's set up their booths.
Oh, you're working with that.
So-
Well, I'm not,
So
I'm just helping set up, so I'll be
I'll be
around
there.
to,
Be there 8:30
It won't be there at 8.
Saturday morning.
So
Okay,
when, do
perfect.
you want me to pick this up for Friday? Oh, we're gonna pick this up Friday.
you can pick it up Friday, you can take it home with you now.
No, thank you.
It will be here Friday. if
How
want
will you
to-
get in? Oh, Friday.
You'd have to come Friday during the workday. Okay, so if you guys are arriving, group B vendors can arrive at 8:45. So group A vendors can come earlier, but I don't know why Betsy can come earlier, but she can come earlier, so.
cause she
anyway,
works at the town hall and has connections.
So what you're saying it's a different time for different vendors that they're trying to manage?
Yes, so if presumably then A vendors must have a longer setup, like if they have a whole shop to set up or something.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't think it matters that much.
No.
So Dennis and Ken, you guys will set up, can you work, so it's 10 to 3. So can you guys work
Till noon?
till noon? So who can work from 12 to 3?
I'm working 12 to 3.
Okay.
Cause the Friends also signed up some people to work. Betsy did. She signed up at our last Friends meeting.
Okay, but that's in their space. I'm talking about in our space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not,
I'll
even-
go up to 3.
Okay,
not about.
you're not right.
I think I signed up for the transfer station, but I could easily switch and help, at the Newton Street.
Okay, okay, so I had you down for Sunday. I didn't have you down for Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, for Sunday. What time on Sunday?
Sunday at the transfer station? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
yeah,
Right in the middle of the
I don't
page.
think we
So-
were looking at this
You're
transfer
playing it.
station for
You're
for
playing
Saturday,
Sunday.
We're mostly trying to cover Sunday.
I believe that was the original plan.
Yeah.
I wanted all hands on.
so
Okay.
Ken, you're gonna come over on Friday and pick up the item, the
Yeah.
booth supplies. You guys are gonna set up. You'll be there until noon, and then Ellen and Dave, you will take over from 12 to 3. And can you guys take the booth down? Okay,
No, we'll go
Yeah, I
back and take it down at the end of the day.
Okay, so
We'll
you'll-
taking it down.
okay, all right.
We're gonna have, I'll be available all day long. I'll just
I
just
thought
take
you
a
were
few
married.
breaks, go in and out, get a sub, whatever.
Well, she-
Yep.
her-
And there's not, if we're not doing the whole rig up with thing on the back wall, then it's not as intensive to get it set
So
up,
we
so.
have the, what do you call those things? I keep-
Easels.
The 4
Easels,
posters and
excuse me.
easels, yeah,
And we may need. There any two-way stuff to stick it to the easels, like
Uh-huh.
two-way tape
we can
or
do that. I can-
something we can make sure they stay on the easels,
Yep,
the kind of thing.
And is there another easel, cause there's a poster size of our version of that with the QR code and dates?
There's only one left.
what,
Well, it has the town meeting dates and the QR.
Oh,
code.
that's true. Yeah,
It's
okay.
just a larger version of about why we're in the senior center.
yep, so I've got the 4-page brochure back there, I've got a couple of the Friends things, and then yeah, so we've got the 4 easels, and there's the Town of Air tablecloth. So
Like that.
would the
With table and
poster
chairs?
could we could we put the poster on the table?
Yeah.
Or could we hang it from,
It'll be on a hard, it's on a softboard.
I mean,
Oh,
I
it's
can,
not
I can get you an
okay.
easel if we need an
Perfect.
easel. I got a couple in my basement.
okay. The only issue with the easels is it's almost always windy
So,
through there.
you know what we used, it worked out, we used a camping chair, we put it, it fit perfect.
Oh, perfect,
And it
yeah.
was, people
Alright.
went right, yeah.
Yeah.
She did a
Yeah,
great job,
okay.
really good job, amazing
I
window.
mean, I have some, I think
Well, it's, we all live close enough that if we have to go back to a house, pick something up to make it work.
I used to have some A-frame sign things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I gave them away, but they were really well-built plywood that you can put the sign on,
Yeah,
and it ain't gonna blow over in a small breeze.
It's not gonna, it's supposed to be very.
But it's a little
Actually,
lower
this weekend,
ground.
it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be mild and warm.
Know what kind of thing I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those easels will stack, you
Hello?
put one down lower and one up higher, like
Oh,
if
no,
you don't
no,
extend the
I'll
legs,
call
you
you
don't
right now.
need to go 4 wide, you can do 2
I'll call
and
you back.
2.
What happened,
Okay.
when we did it last year, we put them on the back, it was good because people could walk into the booth to look at it. So there is an advantage to
And you-
have them in the back.
Then you trapped them.
And then kind of they walked around.
Then you walk in behind them and.
Yeah, so well, maybe we should do that mesh thing.
You can't leave it till you say yes.
There, if you want it, so it's
Yeah,
there.
what's the something, I remember there was.
Yeah, yeah,
That a clip approach?
I'll look into that. I'll see what I can pick up tomorrow. All right, okay, so thank you, Ken, Dennis, Ellen, Dave.
So on
Or-
Sunday at the transfer station,
So then I had Bonnie and Ellen signed up for Sunday, October 5th.
or what times?
I was thinking 10:30 to 12:30 and 12:30 to 2:30. So what shift did you want?
I would go, if it's only two people, I would suggest them going together. That's my
Okay, but
recommendation.
what time is better?
So we were there and it was pretty, yeah, and
busy all
again,
day
Frank
long.
said that Sundays are busier. We were there 10:30 to 12:45.
Okay.
And there was like one little lull, but other than that, it was a steady flow, which was actually good, but I would recommend going together. I'd also recommend reading, the
Oh, yeah.
information we all been talking, because
Yeah.
you get so many different, the gate question came up a lot.
Moving the gate?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Really?
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
one of the
I was
first
like, what
things,
about the gate? What's
because
the
people
gate?
know about that.
And
They
people don't know where it
They
is.
know where it is on Bishop's, once they find out it's by St. Mary's
They
in
know
the
about the gate.
cemetery, they know,
Yeah.
they know the gate. So that came up a lot.
Where are we putting the gate?
400 feet to the west.
Beyond
Okay, but
our
it's,
project,
but it's
beyond the,
not at the triangle.
No.
But so those are the
Beyond the
questions
project,
that
that's
do come
important.
up.
Our project or the edge of the DPW project?
Yes, you gotta,
beyond our project.
And again, no one asked me, or I don't know if they asked, no one asked about the tax impact, but like all those things we have to have ready if people ask.
Yeah.
And another, going forward, especially at the high school meeting, we never, the capital committee asked what the tax impact was for businesses, and we never really answered that. I think we have to have both those figures ready if somebody asks.
Did Katie hear that?
I'm sorry,
The tax impact for
Business.
residents and
Businesses.
business.
We can't figure out the business, because every business is
It's
appraised at a
different,
different
right?
value.
It's all different.
So it's just,
But it's almost twice what the
we know
rest
what the
of,
rate is, but we don't know what
well, what is
Yeah, well-
the rate?
the rate's double.
You're absolutely
Business.
correct. I took it out. it was in there.
No 140, there's nothing about the taxes in this.
Well, I just printed 50 more of these today and now I have to recycle them. Okay. I will fix that. Thank you for catching that.
Because what?
There's nothing in here about the tax impact at all.
You mean the 143?
Yeah,
Big long section about the proposed funding plan, which is very large. But nothing about the impact.
and I like to use the figure, how much it was like per day, because it sounds so minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 cents a day or 70 cents, it's, because
It's, yeah, it's like
Oh,
43
okay,
cents a
so
day,
it
but
was
you can
supposed
also
to be
say
on
which
there.
is
No,
one
I must have
Dunkin'
done it.
Donuts coffee a week.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I seriously.
Yeah, you must be drinking cheap Dunkin' Donuts. It's only 43 cents, but it's a week.
A week.
Or you give up on a newspaper or a magazine and then you go to the senior center and you read that magazine.
But the senior center doesn't have they don't have my newspaper.
They will.
And the other thing, I think we still will need the friends like aggressively at the end with the vote yes. We had, very positive feedback. We had a lot of interest. That doesn't mean it's a yes vote, doesn't mean they're gonna vote. So we really, as much as I was encouraged, our next step is we need these people to show up and vote.
So do we still want them to come the weekend before the election?
It's a long time before now, and between now and then, we'll have plenty of time to figure it out.
Well, do you want them to come other dates? Cause they had said they could come other dates
somewhere.
Tell them they all should show up at one of our meetings.
to the transfer station.
So I think the weekend before the town meeting and the weekend before the vote are the most important times for the Friends to be there. So if we can focus their efforts on those 2 weekends and we can cover the 3 weekends leading up to that, that would be ideal. And then I think we've all agreed we need to tag team it with the Friends on those final 2 weekends. So Bonnie and Ellen, are you going to work 10:30 to 12:30 or 12:30 to 2:30?
We do the morning.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if we're the only ones working, we can work 11 to 1 if we want
Make any
to.
time you want.
You can go earlier too, it's just we picked the time frame that we
Yeah.
were told was like the peak, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
up to you. Yeah,
I would rather work like 10:30 to 12:30
Fine.
and then go home, eat lunch, and then Jeff and I are.
So the camp chair, are you talking
the
about
culture chair.
not the sling ones, but just the regular camp
Yeah,
chair?
the foldable ones, that's what I used, because I didn't have anything.
Okay, and you put the
Put
printed
the stuff
materials
up, I
in?
wedged the poster in there, and then I had the bucket of flyers.
Okay.
Yes, I thought the idea that she had, Linda did a great job all around, but the idea of having something, it attracted people to the spot.
Yeah.
They said, something's going on over here.
Yeah,
you know,
they want to find out.
And it worked, because they're all coming in that spot. Anyway, they had to get there.
So where were you, you were
We were
stationed
literally
between
right
the,
between
the two,
So you know where that little greenhouse is? In
Yes.
between, the sign was right there, and just be careful you don't block people's pathway, because in the beginning, I.
Run you over.
Well, no, and it's just, yeah, so, and we kind of were there,
Yeah,
and when,
There's something in there I want.
whatever that dumpster, they were done, I don't.
cardboard, so it's
So
recycling.
cardboard was to my right,
Yep.
the other one to the, so when people were dumping, I didn't go up to them, I said, oh, we're passing out,
Mhm.
information on the new post senior center that's going to special town meeting this fall, that's what
That
I,
was it.
and then people, I said, would you be in, and then most people said
Yeah,
yes.
sure, I'll take one.
You know, and so it really, we weren't aggressively going up to their cars, hey, do you want, you know, so it worked out really well, I thought.
Yeah, they
Okay.
were coming that way. And if someone came into the back, you could just simply turn around in that direction.
Yeah.
If they parked in the back of the,
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
very, I thought it was very easy. It
That's
went
good.
along good.
A lot of questions, so you get a lot of questions.
And one person, and I will not mention their name, got out of the truck and told me right away, you know, I'm a no vote. And I said, yes, I do know that. And then we had quite a
Thank you
chat.
for clarifying.
Yeah, you have to thank them for your
I knew it from-
opinion.
I know
Yeah.
because I know who he is. And, we had a chat, but he's still gonna vote no. You know, he had a nice talk. He understood more what we were doing. I thought there was some really interesting people. There's just some really great people, number one. People who had any kind of a construction background were pretty much receptive. You know, one gentleman asked a few more technical questions, you know, on the building and something like that. But they were all pretty good. I would say some people came right up and said, I'm voting for it. You know, we need it. Just came
Yeah.
right up and said, oh.
We do.
Yeah.
But I thought, I said it before, I don't think we're gonna find a place that we get more people than we do get right there.
It's great. I mean, I'm in an hour and a half or 2 hours, I handed out 70 flyers down at Town Soccer. So I think you're onto something. It's a great,
They just
we
show up.
need lots of different avenues to.
So should we be setting up something at the church if we can?
No, there's nobody there anyway. Not enough people.
Yeah, okay.
So the other thing
just-
that's interesting is we have to think about after we do these outreach at the transfer station. By the time we get to the third or fourth week, we could end up with the same people. We have to think later in the month, you know, is it gonna be worthwhile again? Because you're gonna end up seeing the same people that go at the same time. Because we all kind of do that. We have kind of a schedule. where we
Yeah.
go. So,
But the weekend before the election, I think it's good to, as a reinforcement that it's Monday.
So
Oh, yes.
we're gonna have a little bit of that taken care of for us anyway. So this upcoming weekend, the 4th and the 5th, we're not available the 4th because we're all at Newton Street Festival. The 5th with Bonnie and Ellen.
it's good.
The following weekend, I would love to have helpers, if anyone is able to help with the Friends with the Harvard Flea Market. People carrying things, you know, hanging out, just helping, right? So we're not gonna be at the transfer station if we're doing that. And the following day is the rain date, so that's one weekend already that's skipped there. So, and then we have the weekend of October 18th and 19th, and then the 25th and 26th. So there's just,
It's good timing, actually.
right, I mean, I don't think we're gonna overdo it. I mean, the yield may be lower as we go, but I don't think that you can overdo it.
Now, let
So
me ask you a question. If you all did it from 10 to 2:30 to 12:30, do you think it would be better to do it later in the day for people?
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of,
You catch different.
Catch-
Say, because they're on a different day too.
On a
I
different
don't-
day and not have
I
that.
mean, some people are People should have it
I
on
think
the
the-
same day.
I think Linda's,
Well, maybe the next time we do it, we should try to cover the afternoon.
I think Linda's right though, because it's a different day. Some people just always go on Sunday, some people always go on Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
People will
I
go
personally like
every-
Wednesday.
go every other
Wednesday,
week,
yeah.
you know.
You get the town voters that are there all day.
So I'll do Wednesday, the eighth. Like, you'll catch a different crowd of people on
Good point.
Wednesday during the,
Can do it
during
during
the week.
Oh.
That's right.
there you
You're
go.
gonna get more seniors.
Make it muscles.
Yeah, so from, I don't know, I'll talk, I don't know what, 10 to 12 maybe, or 9, I'll talk to Andrew and find out, 9 to 11 maybe, on Wednesday, the eighth.
I mean, any effort will help.
Let me know
It's
if you
only an
want, I'll,
hour, you know.
I can join you on that.
Okay,
That would
Dave's
be
gonna
great.
do Wednesday.
Perfect, wonderful.
That's Sukkoff Day 2.
I did call, Dan Benchkill in advance. To let him know we were gonna be there. Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
And you should wear safety vests. Well,
Did I
Dan,
give them to you?
well, I had my own, so.
I don't
Okay,
have one.
okay.
Did you?
But I believe DPW Dan said he had some if we needed them.
Yeah,
Oh, I have mine.
I've got mine.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
I have one. You have one?
Vest.
I have one, yeah. Just keep it in my car.
I may have two, I
Thank
can,
you.
Okay,
I can give you.
okay.
If not, they sell even just the sash ones, like at North and at Auchan,
Okay.
they're not expensive.
Did they let you, I don't use the dump, so did they let you come in and park?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
So
got-
I went all the way to the end. I asked him, so when you go straight in, go all the way to the end, the metals to the left, there were spaces, they have their equipment there, and I asked.
Okay, I've never
asked them
been
if
there.
that's fine.
Park out of the way because there's a lot of people parking, you know,
Yeah.
coming in for a quick trip.
They'll
Pick you up
help.
if you're planning to stay the whole entire time, pick you up and drive you home.
Sure, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm
I
at
don't mind.
Autumn Ridge, so it's pretty
Yeah,
close.
it's fast.
Okay, that'd be
Easy.
great.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
can do that.
Okay.
All right, anything else on public input?
So I'll reach out to you and Betsy and pick up some signs on Saturday.
Well, I'm gonna pick this stuff here up on Friday, which is our.
No, the
They'll probably have them
sign,
in Newton
the
Street.
yard sign.
Oh, when the yard signs come in, I'll get a hold of it.
All right.
Just bring them to Newton Street.
Where
Pass
is
them
your
out from Newton
poster
Street.
that you had?
That's what I would
So
do.
one is being, I'll talk to you about it after, one's being reprinted,
Okay,
yeah. It might even be ready,
Okay.
and then I have
So
We'll
some
take one to the
chalkboard.
transfer station, put it right across the train.
I think we got
That's right, yeah. That's-
So we should put one right there, right, where everybody comes in and out.
Okay, so the next thing on the agenda was preparations for town meeting. The town manager is gonna come to our next meeting and walk through, they're putting together the draft of the warrant article and the ballot description now. And, he wanted to, have a discussion about how town meeting would work and what the rules and etiquette is to keep in mind for each of those things, so that everybody's clear on how that will work. So I'm gonna table that till, the next meeting. We have,
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned that, they were still working on the draft, but they're not working on the draft for the, election because they voted on it and you sent it out. The language for the election. Select board voted on the language there last week.
oh, yes, yeah, I'm sorry, so the town meeting warrant, or that's what I saw.
No, for the debt exclusion,
The
The
debt.
debt exclusion
Yeah.
article was approved and they,
Yes,
that's what he's referring to.
yeah, so I'm talking about the town meeting warrant.
but there was something that was
Right.
fascinating that happened that and I could be wrong. Pretty sure Robert sat here and told us that those articles and that vote had to specify the total value of the project. Were we told that or not?
Not on the ballot.
Not on the
The
ballot,
ballot does not have a.
No,
any
the ballot.
financial,
But not on the ballot,
Right.
correct,
Around the warrant.
but on the warrant.
yeah, the warrant has to.
But I think, okay, maybe I'm,
So that's what they're working on right now, is exactly what will be written in the warrant and what will be written in the explanatory note for the warrant. So that's what's being drafted right now, so,
Does the warrant article have the tax impact total overall?
yes.
And they're not,
The explanatory note does.
and they're not including the total with everything else. Are they in that warrant article?
What do you mean?
The total with all the other tax impacts for the,
No.
No,
okay,
No,
cause they just keep bringing that up over and over and it's like they're trying to make it look
I do
like
not-
our project is, the tax impact is higher.
Right.
When they,
That's incorrect, well, whatever.
I think that they're responding to a very narrow subset of the air population who some weeks ago or perhaps months ago raised a concern about the total tax increase. And three people talking that narrative becomes, oh my God, we need to, need heaven and earth to.
We had a person at the meeting today ask that question. And she had told me she had been talking about it with another person as well. So there are, and she's not a
Right, so
Yeah.
that makes fine.
fringe.
So,
I think it's a natural question to say, how does this fit into the larger picture? I think that's a fair question. So I think it's our job as a building committee to say $143, $143, $143. And it is the larger town management's responsibility to frame for the town how the rest of the tax
Yes,
picture fits in.
but I
That's not-
contest
I
the
don't think-
fundamental idea
they shouldn't be connected.
that there is a large groundswell of opposition to this based on too large tax increase. I have not sensed that. I have not sensed a shift in our direction. Any shift in our direction has gone from didn't know about it, kind of neutral about it, haven't really given it much thought to, yeah, hey, this really sounds like a great idea.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody who 4 months ago hated the project is now gonna say, I love the project, it's great.
But
Or
you're never
anybody.
you're never gonna have a unanimous
Right.
vote, right? Even amongst the people that come to town meeting, you rarely have a unanimous vote.
Right.
Especially on something that is a large
Yeah,
project.
but the right time.
We have a lot of unanimous votes.
100% unanimous votes, 4 or 5 town meetings in a row.
Consistent
I
with
don't
unanimous.
know,
Every
there's
single one of them.
one or two
No,
people who
that's
say
not-
I'm
no.
telling you, it's 4 or 5 or 6
I-
town meetings in a row,
Okay.
100% unanimous votes.
Well, because we've never had anything
Nothing
really controversial.
Exactly.
On this, we need a 2/3 majority vote to pass.
We've had it before, we've got it unanimous, but we won't get it now.
We won't get unanimous
Well, I
on
was
this.
But
very-
again, I think the idea is that you're not going for unanimous.
Okay.
You're trying to get a representative set of people to the meeting. And you're trying to get, 2/3 majority.
I'm not trying to get a representative set of people to the meeting.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to get those
100%
people
yes.
in favor of this project. to the meeting.
I was.
He's a politician.
I can say that I was extremely disappointed when they started bringing up the costs of other items that had nothing to do with the senior center. I thought the concentration always should be the $143 for the senior center.
Yeah.
The other stuff, I'm not even sure it'll ever get through. It may never get by a budget hearing. It may never exist in the future. I
Like
have
what?
no idea. All these other
Yeah.
projected costs to bring us to $500 a year.
No, those.
No,
those have already been approved.
Springtown.
They were approved as
Those
Springtown.
are already baked in.
So they're already baked in.
Very big.
Yeah, so they're saying, what are our taxes gonna be? It's not gonna be just $143.
So
It's gonna be,
additive, it's an additive.
yeah, it's
effect.
like, $300.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
stuff that was voted on at the Springtown meeting.
Okay, so.
Well, that's not our
I'm wrong.
fault.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm not, but they do have a right to know,
Right.
what is my tax
But
gonna
they already
go up?
voted on it.
Right, so they should already know they spent
It's been done.
$300.
That's-
They're not opposed to it.
that's
They
what-
just wanna know. You
So,
know,
and that's the thing I think to keep in mind is when people ask questions. Being able to read the body language afterwards and say,
Yeah.
did I need a piece of knowledge and you provided it and now I'm content? Which I think is great, that's wonderful, versus like, did I ask you a question because I was actually pointing out my
yeah.
Distaste.
distaste for it and it didn't change my opinion afterwards, so. All right, in order to stay in the scope of our meeting, so there's no public input. We had said before, we wanted to meet again on October 14th at 4 PM and October 20th at 5 PM. Does that still work for everyone?
What was it again, October 14th?
October 14th at 4 PM,
That's right after the board meeting. I mean, which is fine, just
right after the what?
COA board meeting. Which is
Yeah.
fine,
Yes.
okay.
Then October 20th.
And the public. The last, I can't hold any more dates in my head. the last public information session is the 16th. So I think we had said the 14th in case there was any other last minute tweaks that needed to
Okay.
be done before that. And then the 20th, just as a final push.
It was 6 o'clock on the 20th before.
5 o'clock on the 20th. So
5 o'clock.
October 14th at 4 PM and October 20th at 5 PM. Does that work for everyone? Okay. All right.
And what's the high school, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
7.
7 o'clock, the 16th at 7.
So for the 20th, meeting on the 20th,
5, she said.
huh? 5, yeah, 5. So the agenda, so Katie, you're gonna speak at town meeting. You're gonna give a presentation, is that correct?
Yes.
And then is there anyone else scheduled
So
for?
we can talk about that more on the 14th,
Okay.
at that meeting on the 14th, but, I think we'll do it the same way we did it for capital planning and FinCom, which would be that I would give the first probably 15-minute presentation, which is a significant tightening over the public input session, as it should be. And then Robert and Barbara can speak for the second 15 minutes about the financial piece. So that allows me to really condense what I have to cover. And then hopefully, people will have this in front of them that they will have picked up from our table on the way in, and we'll put it also on the table of things going into town meeting.
And will John Catlin be there? Or
Yeah, we would like the architect and the OPM to be there, and then,
are we gonna have to ask for special permission from them to address the body, or can they?
yeah, and again, this was all stuff Robert wanted to
Robert.
talk about at the next meeting, but there's a process for that, and then if that is a unanimous vote, I think that's required, so if you get it, great. If you don't, we could spend some time talking about what we think the questions will be, and it's also possible for them to be behind me. It's not like they can't come in the room.
Right.
They just can't speak in the microphone. So if they're standing behind me and there's a question that they should really answer, I can literally turn around and say, how would you answer that? And then I can turn around and repeat what they said. Hopefully it doesn't come to
But
that.
it may be that Ken could answer some of the more technical questions, or
Mm-hmm.
that is, I think. I don't know how many technical, that level of detail people on the floor, but they might ask some that,
So my suggestion would be that the building committee
Do
sit
you
down
really?
where the town department heads sit.
Right.
Right behind, so that lower left corner, right in front of the select board.
Yeah.
Those first few rows are where the department heads sit, where the microphone is. So my suggestion would be that you guys all sit there, and if there's,
Okay.
right, and then I think you guys can go up to the mic as individuals during that period of time to voice your support anyway, which hopefully everyone will. So, but then to just be closer to the microphone if there's something that,
I had one clarification, Katie, again, maybe I had a meeting on this separately, I heard about it separately from Robert. But the way I understood it, and Dan Finchkel talked about this as well, when there's a significant project that does have the professionals working with them, they will be making a statement at the beginning that those professionals can speak, just like town departments. That's the way I understood it. But that'll get clarified.
Well, he'll
by
tell
Robert.
us next
think-
week.
I think that,
I've heard both, but I think Robert's.
So let him clarify it.
I-
That they don't,
Yeah.
there won't have to be a vote as well.
oh, okay, all right, yeah.
That's
yeah.
the way I understood it.
Yeah.
When there's a project this,
Oh, that's
this
good.
magnitude,
Mhm.
and the same thing happened with other projects in town, whether it be a school or
Yep.
DPW, that the professionals involved in the project were to be treated the same as other town departments who don't live in town, but represent the project. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, otherwise, how do you get to speak?
I know.
Yes.
Paid by the town.
Yeah.
Boy.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Ken, I guess you're up.
We
I've
need
spoken a lot of stuff, so
we need-
I may screw it up, but I'll get through it somehow.
We'll just have the town moderator
Keep it
go
short.
deaf at the appropriate time.
Yeah.
Like John Calvin.
All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Right? All in favor?
Right.